I've been listening to Bela Fleck for a long time. Way before I even got into the banjo, I was familiar with his work with the Fleck tones and with a lot of other artists. He's actually known for playing with a lot of non-bluegrass musicians. But as I later learned, he actually is an amazing bluegrass banjo player as well. Even though he's pushed the boundaries of what the banjo can do in any style of music, he's also pushed the boundaries of what we might consider bluegrass banjo. And if you listen to some of his earlier records, then you'll hear what I'm talking about. So here are 4 non-traditional, challenging Bela Fleck licks that I think work well in a bluegrass context. I found all 4 of these licks from 2 videos. One is of Bela Fleck and Brian Sutton playing bugle call rag and ground speed, and the other is from a video of Freeborn Man from Merlefest in the early 90s. So here's lick number 1. This lick is challenging but totally worth the effort. It moves through chord shapes and melodic patterns, it changes directions, and it goes across the entire neck in a relatively short period of time. Strangely, the hardest thing about this lick for me is the quickly alternating index and middle finger. To get this lick up to speed, I spent a good amount of time practicing just that repeated pattern on open strings. Here's lick number 2. The chromaticism, as well as the combination of the blues scale and the major scale, is what sets this lick apart from other melodic licks that just move up and down the neck. Here's lick number 3. I love this lick because it's made up of groupings of 3 notes which are descending, but each grouping of 3 notes is higher than the one before it. It's something you hear guitarists like Tony Rice use all the time, and it doesn't surprise me that Bela's using it because I know that he's studied the playing of a lot of musicians on a lot of different instruments. Finally, here's lick number 4. To me, the most challenging part of this lick is actually the thumb, index, middle index roll at the beginning. It's a surprisingly difficult roll to play up to speed, so don't be afraid to practice it on its own. Licks 1 through 3 work great on 2 measures of D on its way to G. And you might have noticed that a lot of the licks I've posted, either the ones of Scott Vestal or J.D. Crowe, work on these chords specifically. Why would that be? Well, the value of a lick like this is that it works great at the end of a chord progression. That means that you can play most of the melody of a song, and then throw in a lick like this at the end for a variation. A big part of being a bluegrass banjo player is knowing the melody and playing the melody. So if you use licks like this once in a while, then you're going to get a really great balance of the expected and the unexpected. That's going to keep it interesting for yourself and for the audience. So here's how you can use all 4 licks in a tune like Bugle Call Rag. Now, some people might not like any of these licks at all. They might be pushing the boundaries a little bit too much. Maybe they prefer to hear what Earl Scruggs or J.D. Crowe would play. And sometimes I agree. Sometimes I do want to play just what's most traditional, and sometimes I want to really stretch out and try new things. But if you don't like these licks, then you're in luck because it's actually not that hard to figure out licks that you do want to play. It took me probably only about 20 minutes to find and learn these licks. All it took was listening to the recordings from the videos, slowing them down, listening to them over and over again, and picking out the notes. If I wanted to, I could make a video like this every day for the rest of my life. There are thousands of hours of recordings of just about any banjo player that you'd want to listen to available online these days, and so it's all there for the taking if you're interested and if you're motivated. And don't worry, I'll be covering the playing styles of a lot of banjo players on this YouTube channel, but don't wait for me to go find the licks that you want to play from your favorite banjo player. The tablature for all of these licks and the full version of Bugle Call Rag can be found on my website or by going to patreon.com/EliGilbertBanjo. A lot of you know already, but if you need a reminder, Patreon is where you're going to go if you want to get extra tabs, extra practice tips, bonus videos, live streams, and a bunch of other content that you actually can't find here on YouTube. And if you like this video and you want to learn more about bluegrass banjo, then do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.